Story time. Welcome to story. Oh, wow, this looks different. Did they change things? Megan requests an excerpt from The Hobbit by JRR Tolkien. My, it's long. Okay, with Halo music in the background. A little bit. Deep down here by the dark water lived old Gollum, a small, slimy creature. I don't know where he came from or what he was. He was Gollum, as dark as darkness, except for two big, round, pale eyes in his thin face. He had a little boat, and he rowed about quite quietly on the lake. For lake it was, wide and deep and deadly cold. He paddled it with large feet dangling over the side, but never a ripple did he make. Not he. He was looking out of his pale lamp-like eyes for blind fish, which he grabbed with his long fingers as quick as thinking. He liked meat, too. Goblin, he thought, was good when he could get it, but he took care they never found him out. He just throttled them from behind if they ever came down alone anywhere near the edge of the water while he was prowling about. They very seldom did, for they had a feeling that something unpleasant was lurking down there, down at the very roots of the mountain. They had come on the lake when they were tunneling down long ago, and they had found they could go no further. So there their road ended in that direction, and there was no reason to go that way, unless the great goblin sent them. Sometimes he took a fancy for fish from the lake, and sometimes neither goblin nor fish came back. Actually, Gollum lived on a slimy island of rock in the middle of the lake. He was watching Bilbo now from the distance with his pale eyes like telescopes. Bilbo could not see him, but he was wondering a lot about Bilbo, for he could see he was no goblin at all. Gollum got into his boat and shot off from the island, while Bilbo was sitting on the brink, altogether flummoxed, and at the end of his way and his wits. Suddenly, up came Gollum and whispered and hissed, "Bless us and splash us, my precious! I got such a good feast! At least a tasty morsel it'll make for us, Gollum, Gollum!" And when he said Gollum, he made a horrible swallowing noise in his throat. That is how he got his name, though he always called himself my precious. The Hobbit nearly jumped out of his skin when a hiss came in his ears, and he suddenly saw the pale eyes sticking out at him. "Who are you?" he said, thrusting his dagger in front of him. "What is he, my precious?" whispered Gollum, who always spoke to himself, though never having anyone else to speak to. This is what he had come to find out, for he was not really very hungry at the moment, only curious. Otherwise, he would have grabbed first and whispered afterwards. I'm Bilbo Baggins. I've lost the dwarves, and I've lost the wizard, and I don't know where I am, and I don't know. If only I could get away. I don't want to know. Okay, and that's the end of the excerpt. And I don't know where I am, and I don't want to know. If only I could get away. Bagginses. Filthy Bagginses.